With Thanksgiving 2 days away, the Eureka Red Devils look to start their holiday with a home W against the visiting Rockford Regents. I'm Spencer Davis, joined by Levi Taylor for this matchup of non-conference basketball. Levi, pleasure having you with us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Hope that you're having a good holiday break with your family and friends. Hope everybody, if you're traveling, travels safely. And we're going to have a good one for you tonight.
Yeah, the Rockford Regents coming into this one 4-0. The Red Devils looking to get back on their winning track. Coach Chip Wilde sitting on 199 wins on the Eureka sidelines, looking for 200 in front of the home fans. Last time out, Red Devils unsuccessful in their attempts to get that 200th under Coach Wilde, dropping on the road 89-81. It was a tight-fought game. Cody Bear dropped 31 points, 8 rebounds. Pee Wee Brown coming in with 22 points. But, Levi, kind of the storyline for that game, a lack of ball movement for the Red Devils.
Yeah, just struggling in the half-court offense, struggling in transition, lousy turnovers and things of that nature. Really got to clean that up today if they're going to have a chance to win this one.
For the season, though, the Red Devils, they're still looking again. It's been a lot of that ball movement, trying to handle the ball, and a lot of pressure they've been seeing in this past 4 games. On the other side, Rockford, a very successful start to the first 4 games of their career or their season. Levi, tell me about a couple of their guys.
Well, tonight for Rockford, I got my eye on number 0, Jaden Bella, senior guard out of Beloit, Wisconsin. He's averaging 17 points per game, handles the ball really well. This whole team really shoots the ball very well. They're shooting around 40% from 3 as a team, which is very impressive. And another guy I got my eye on is number 35, Kevin Dimer. He's a senior forward out of Rockford, Illinois. He's averaging 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. And these 2 guys are monsters, and we're going to have our hands full tonight with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a premier matchup between Pee Wee Brown and Cody Bear. You know, 2 guys like Jaden Bell and Demar that are both, you know, on the inside and out. So we're going to see the 2 star-studded matchups pretty consistently, I would imagine.
Yeah, we're going to have to really be strong defensively. We can't let them have extra possessions with the offensive glass. They do a really good job on the offensive boards. They're going to have to keep them off for the first 2 games. They had 33 offensive rebounds combined through the first 2. So we're really going to have to box out, clear a man out, and not give them extra possessions. And including turnovers, we got to take care of the ball. Levi,
are there any specific keys to the game what the Red Devils have to do to bring home number 200?
Well, like I said, don't allow extra possessions with offensive rebounds and turnovers. Keep them off the offensive glass and control the ball. Don't turn it over. Don't allow them to control the pace of the game.
Yeah, that's all we have for you on the pregame show. On the other side, national anthem and starting lineups right here in the Christine Bonatti Bullwinkle Arena. Eureka College basketball on the way on ECTV.
St. Jude affects all corners of the world for good. I mean, if you think about organizations that affect an entire world, it's a short list. Taking care of kids is a priority. Taking care of the families as whole.
Without donations, without people that care for St. Jude and for the kids at St. Jude, our match wouldn't be here.
You are making a difference, not just in a hospital, but in an entire world.
When people ask us who we are, we tell them we're problem solvers, opportunity creators, community builders, and change makers. We are Rotary. Around the world, our network of 1.4 million neighbors, friends, and leaders volunteer their skills, expertise, and resources to solve issues and address community needs. We are people of action. Join us, and together, we can make an even greater impact. Find out how you can get involved at rotary.org/action.
I immigrated to America when I was 20 from a country called Uruguay. I have two careers. I'm in the Army Reserves, and I have a civilian career as an engineer. And I have two wonderful children. Every day is a challenge to make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to be there. You have to be present for them. You have to try to teach them when they learn something new and it just clicks in their brain. I just realized I could do this, and you can just see in their faces. It's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
What would you give for a child you loved to make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine.
And we'll send it down to Ethan Hedge, who's got the starting lineups.
Now let's meet today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Rockford Regents. A 6'3" senior from Beloit, Wisconsin, number 0, Jaden Bell. A 6'5" senior from DeSoto, Texas, number 2, Micah Swanson. And a 6'3" senior from Chicago, Illinois, number 3, Nudie Lacey. And a 5'9" senior from Bahia Blanca, Argentina, number 10, Mateo Fernandez Solari. And a 6'5" senior from Rockford, Illinois, number 35, Kevin Deemer. Now, let's meet today's starting lineups for your Eureka Red Devils. A 6'4" sophomore from Morton, Illinois, number 4, Ben Carter. And a 6' senior from Peoria, Illinois, number 5, Noah Persich. And a 6'2" junior from Peoria, Illinois, number 10, Pee-wee Brown. And a 6' junior from Rock Falls, Illinois, number 11, Jalen Johnson. And a 6'10" senior from Peoria, Illinois, number 24, Cody Bear.
Same starting lineup as the last time we saw these Red Devils on the road. They like what they've got. Again, more of a kind of a 4-guard lineup, but a guy like Ben Carter can play that stretch 4 position pretty well.
Yeah, he's done a great job this season. He's really improved from last year as a freshman. He still put up some valuable minutes last year, but this year we've seen a great improvement in his game, and he's a really smart player. He sees the floor really well, and he has that ability to score as well.
Again, guys, to keep an eye on: Jaden Bell donning the number 0, number 35, Kevin Deemer, number 35. And we are just about ready to get it going. Cody Bear win uncontested on that tip. Again, Eureka having a size advantage down low, specifically with a guy like Bear at 6'10". Brown to Bear. Deemer guarding him. Solari taking it away. And they're going to get a late call there on Cody Bear, blocking foul.
Well, that's what this Rockford team likes to do. They're averaging over 11 steals per game, I believe. They really like to get into the area of the ball handler and make him uncomfortable, and they force a lot of turnovers.
Solari bringing up the ball. Again, has introduced a senior out of Argentina. Here's Bell. Again, guarded by Brown. It was a matchup we thought we would see a lot of tonight. Solari with the floater. No, rebounded by Bears first, and they're going to get a foul on Solari this time, so both guys exchanging fouls early on in the backcourt.
Well, right there, once again, we're seeing them scrap and trying to get offensive boards. They do it a lot, and they're staying with their trend here early.
Hey, you'd like to see Cody Bear, I think, keep that ball up a lot higher so you're not bringing it down to Solari's level. Again, when you're 6'10" and the guy that's 5'9" is trying to take it from you, just put it over your head. Brown on the wing, guarded by said Solari. Jalen Johnson hit a 3 to open up the scoring in the last game for the Red Devils. Ball knocked away into the hands of Solari. 3-on-2 break, nice touch pass, and I'm not sure Swanson was quite ready for that pass.
Well, it was a nice touch pass, but I think that he could have just taken the ball to the rack and had a wide open layup. I understand what he was trying to do, but maybe a little too much on that.
A really unselfish team, mind you. Rockford comes into this one averaging 23 assists per game. Looking to share the sugar for sure. It's Persich to Carter. No score after both teams with a couple of offensive possessions. Carter to Persich. Johnson once again late in the shot clock, 8 seconds. Carter stopped by Swanson, 4. Johnson have to put something up and block. Swanson out on the break. Nudie Lacey. Bounce pass to Swanson, still looking for our opening bucket. Carter standing in the corner. Trying to drive baseline now. Nice wraparound pass. Johnson, Persich thought about a 3. Floater instead, and there's our first bucket finally. Only took 2 minutes.
Good pump fake to get your man by you, and then you got a wide open jumper. Good move by Persich, and we see that a lot from him. He's a mid-range demon.
Deemer. Again, an excellent shooter. Talked about it on the pregame. Comes into this one shooting 52.9 from the three-point line. And he's shooting from the field above 60. Swanson, Solari, late in the shot clock now. Eureka with a good defensive possession. Solari finding his way to the basket.
Well, late in the shot clock there, you just got to make sure you stay on your man. Unfortunately, let him go by there for the wide open layup.
Carter. Bear with a post touch, face up. Deemer tried to sell that. I like that no call. I don't think there was a ton of contact on that. Or at least not an unnormal amount for post play. Lacey went up and came down, and the travel is called.
Yeah, going back to that, I like the no call as well. I think that, you're going to have contact down in the post, but he might have tried to sell it and try to get a foul call. I like the no call there.
We're just smart. Cody Bear already with 1 foul. If you can try to sneak a second foul in there 3 minutes into the game, that significantly changes Eureka's offense. Brown on the wing. Persich. Now Carter. Carter trying to get by Persich now from 3. Knocked in.
Persich has got the hot hand to start the game. Mid-range jumper on the last possession. And on this one, a good shot from 3. He's got all our points so far.
Deemer has to pick out. Tip pass by Persich. Offense will have to reset. 14 on the shot clock. It's Lacey. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Still finding Deemer finally. Throws a pass to Brown instead. 2-on-2 break. Brown trying to go to the basket. Good hands by Bell. Brown a little post touch. Bear tipping it up to himself. Likely, probably should have been an over the back call there, but we'll see. Kicked out. Johnson from 3 knocks it in. And a timeout taken by Rockford. 8-2.
Man, Persich is on fire to start this game. A nice drive in to suck the defender in to kick out for the three. And then back here on the other end of the court, defensively, he got switched off on a guy that is just much bigger than him, and he stayed with him and played great defense and forced a turnover. Really hot start for Persich in this game.
Yeah, responsible for all 8 in some fashion, points or assists. And this is the kind of start that Eureka saw on the road. They came out really hot, and then the offense started to cool down a little bit, and then the defense, unfortunately, didn't sit in their heels. But Levi, what are you seeing so far? What's the difference between maybe a game like this and the game on Saturday?
Well, high-intensity defense. The scoring starts on the defensive end. You got to get stops, and you got to get out in transition and create buckets for yourself. And right now, if they can keep up the defensive intensity, I think they'll start to open up more opportunities for themselves on the offensive side.
I know that talking to people around the program, at least people near it, they want Jalen Johnson to shoot the ball a little bit more. Shot up and in.
Well, I agree. I mean, he's took one shot and banged a three right to start.
Exactly what he did last game, too.
Keep stroking it, young fella.
Carter, Brown, high post look. Really seems like the Red Devils are trying to post up Pee Wee Brown a little bit more than normal. Again, listed at 6'2", guarded by a 5'9" Solari. He tries to get to the bucket, and the basket is good for Pee Wee Brown.
Well, we see Pee Wee do that all the time. He's a great ball handler, great at taking people one-on-one, and he's a hard guy to guard. And if he's going to the basket, really the only thing you can do is foul him. But sometimes he converts like that.
Seth Childers onto the floor for Solari. That was his second foul of the game. And Anthony James onto the court as well for Nudie Lacey. Brown was dealing with a hamstring injury in their last game. Seems to have been dealt with, at least for the time being, moving well. Three-point play converted. Already 3 different Red Devils in the scoring column.
And that's what it's going to take, Spencer. We can't have 1 or 2 guys just scoring. We got to have that 3rd, 4th guy that's putting up, not crazy numbers, but putting in significant minutes and putting us in position, to win the ball game.
And you look at Rockford, it's a super balanced team looking to up and down the roster. Obviously, Deemer and Bell are the kind of 2 faces of this roster, but as Bell fires from 3, left that a little too long. Persich, quick outlet, Bear all on his own. We'll see what we got, a highlight reel, and not the flashiest, but effective.
I mean, it's 2 points on the board. 2 points is 2 points, whether we would have laid it up or slammed it down, but we'll take it.
Deemer, nice move to get to the glass. But yeah, like back to what we were saying. They're not all double-digit scorers on this Rockford side. They have 3 guys averaging in between 8 and 9 points. A couple of guys in between 7 and 7.5. Everybody that comes in for them is going to score.
That's what makes them such a complete team. They have depth. They have guys that can come off the bench. And, they're not going to hurt you being in the ballgame, as there's a good post move from Cody Bear. But like I said, they're not going to come in and hurt you, and they will help you. And that's how you have a complete team, just having depth and guys that know how to play the game.
Childers, the lefty turnaround, no good. Persich and Deemer scrapping for it into the hands of Bear. That's his 3rd rebound already. Carter had a hard time with it. Might have been off of his knee as well, and it is. 9-point lead for the Red Devils.
Well, he got past that ball at half court, and he just never really had possession with it. The pass was a little behind him, bobbled it a little bit, and was never able to gain control of it before it went out of bounds.
Matthew Elliott onto the court, donning the number 11. I don't know if we've highlighted it yet. This is Rockford's first game on the road of the season. So while they are 4-0, perhaps you want to attribute a little bit of an asterisk to it as a travel called on Brown.
Yeah, and with it being their first game on the road, obviously this is not necessarily the most hostile environment, with it being Thanksgiving break and all the students are at home, but it does make a difference not playing on your home floor. It's not the floor you practice on every day. You're not in your environment and comfortable, so it really does make a difference.
The Red Devils are scrappy and looking to come out with a win. Deemer misses from 3 and laid right back up and in by James.
And that's one of the things. You've got to keep them off the offensive glass. Everybody's got to find a man, put your backside on them, and move them out of the way. Can't give them those second chance points.
7-point lead for the Red Devils just about 7 minutes into this first half. Carter, guarded by Elliott, trying to get to the bucket. Nice footwork underneath, can't finish. Elliott rebounds. Jaden Bell, one of the senior guards. Elliott once again. Deemer wants it down low, going to work on Bear. Tries the scoop shot, no good. Fought for. Deemer still with it. Good footwork underneath.
Yeah, a really good move right there. Obviously, he's at a disadvantage with size going up against Bear, but he made good use of his body there to give him an opening for the layup.
And that's what a lot of post work kind of comes down to, is who has the better footwork, especially again when you're undersized and trying to get up against a guy much larger than you. 5-point lead for the Red Devils, 12:28 left in the first half. Timeout on the floor, timeout for us right here on ECTV.
For those who rely on us, that's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back to Eureka, Illinois. Red Devils up 5 coming out of a timeout. We talked about the hot shooting of Rockford in their last 4 games, but this time it's the Red Devils shooting 60% from the field and knocking down both of their opening triples. So a positive sign for the shooting for the Red Devils. In their last game, they shot 53% as a team from the three-point line, and a significant improvement from their first 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're not going to be shooting 60% from the field and 100% from 3 for the entire game. They will cool down eventually. But like I said, if they keep the same intensity on defense that they've had and don't give them those second chance opportunities that we've been seeing, they're going to be in good position going into halftime.
Dylan Logsdon and Sam DeJesus onto the court for the first time for the Red Devils. Brown underneath, trying to get around Belt. Kind of flung that shot up. Child is a freshman with a rebound. Anthony James, another one of those upperclassmen for Rockford. Three-pointer up. Childer's knocked in.
Well, a really good drive and dish right there. Kind of the same thing that Persich did a while back in this half. Drove in and sucked the defender in. That leaves a man wide open out beyond the arc.
Coaches like to say that it's always easier to shoot and make a shot when the ball's coming at you from in front of you, not to the side. And a nice shot there from Cody Bear. Rockford really out in transition a lot this game.
Yeah, they're really trying to speed things up, and you could see that from the start. And that's the kind of team that they are. They like to go fast.
Nice move from James. Offense is starting to exchange blows here now.
Yeah, it was kind of a slow start at the beginning, but now they're really starting to heat up, starting to pick it up, and this could be an exciting one, Spencer, a high-scoring game.
A relatively clean game thus far. 1 foul for the Red Devils, 2 on Rockford, and Eureka kind of Logsdon was very close to stepping on that line or coming back down with the ball. So Blake Logsdon now checking in, so both Logsdon brothers in the game.
I would have liked to have seen Dylan go up with that ball. I know he was looking to pass, but I thought he had a good shot at making that layup.
Brown stopped underneath. Blake Logsdon, floater up with the left hand, no good. Elliott with another rebound. James in transition, way up there for that.
A really good pass in transition, getting out in front. Saw the gap really well and led him perfectly.
Tie ball game. Dylan Logsdon trying to work on the perimeter, moving it around. Right side of the floor, really, who everybody's keeping their eye on in this one. Brown from 3, no good. Logsdon could not track that down. Deemer with the rebound. Childers back to Bell. James, another soft touch of the rim, and this time Coach Wilde, the one taking a timeout. Rockford quickly out in front, 19-17. The Red Devils forced to use a timeout. We will do the same on ECTV.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew a girl so smart, so responsible, she must be a keeper.
1917. Much like the 2019 film, the score in this one, 10-15 remaining in the first half as play is restarted. Logsdon brothers in the backcourt for the Red Devils. Cody Bear with it at the moment. Dylan over to Pee Wee Brown. Blake Logsdon to Jesus. 15 on the shot clock for the Red Devils, trying to find their offensive mojo again. Brown able to restart his dribble back up, trying to post up. A lot of contact and finishes through all of it.
You know, for being a guard, Pee Wee Brown is really good in the post. He makes some really sneaky moves down there. And you know, like they say, basketball is a game of runs. Rockford just went on a little run of their own. Let's see if Eureka can put something together and regain this lead. And that'll help.
Yeah, moving screen there on Anthony James, 8 points off of the bench from him so far, 4 for 4 from the field. And I know that Red Devils starting to have some nightmares about guys coming off the bench and going nuts. Guy like Terrell Taylor had 16 off of the bench in their last game. And the Red Devils trying to stave off, really. You don't want one guy getting hot. Cross-court pass to Jesus. Firing from 3, knocks it in.
Really good court vision right there to find the open man in the corner. And a good job knocking it down from DeJesus.
And DeJesus went 2 of 3 in his attempts from 3 in their last game. Elliott now trying to respond. Unable to do so, and somehow Brown's heels were up, it looked like, close to that sideline. Logsdon lobbed up. Bear able to bring it in with the 6'10 frame. Can't finish that time. Maybe a little stat padding being done.
Well, that's where the size comes into play right there. We had the advantage down there. Cody could have taken as many tries as he wanted to at that layup.
Another rebound for Bear. Red Devils responding well out of that timeout. Brown, little head fake, drives to the basket, contact once again, and Pee Wee Brown. You know, I talked about it with Kareem when we're calling games. Pee Wee Brown might be the most fouled player that doesn't get whistles that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it definitely looked like there was some contact on that layup, but I mean, that's a tough take, finishing strong. Not looking for the foul, but finishing strong no matter what.
England goes down into the hands of Brown. Logsdon, to Logsdon, back to Logsdon. It's with Bear, nice backdoor cut, couldn't quite find him. Good read from James. They got a 5-on-4 until Dylan Logsdon's back into the play. England trying to drive, finds the trailer, James. Looking to drive, first miss of the game for him. Maybe not a guy you have to worry about too much on the perimeter in terms of shooting.
No, maybe not on the perimeter, but you definitely got to worry about him slashing. He's a very good ball handler from what we've seen so far, and we've seen that he can finish at the rim. And, you know, contact doesn't really affect him up there either.
Red Devils slowing things down, 8 on the shot clock. Blake Logsdon back to Dylan Logsdon. Three-pointer up from DeJesus. Rebounded by Swanson. Different to see them slow ball, like that was almost a last 40 seconds type possession. Got Bear up in the air, and fortunately Cody Bear not called for any foul. See a lot of times big men go up for blocks, and that delay usually results in a foul. Under 7 minutes to go, Red Devils up 7. Dylan Logsdon steps into a 3, no good. Another rebound for Swanson. A lot of tough takes for Rockford, really trying to challenge Cody Bear at the rim. And while he's not credited with any blocks yet today, just being out there redirects a lot of shots. Blake Logsdon from way out, rebounded by Childers. Diving for it, knocking it out of bounds.
Ooh, that looked like it went off of Rockford, Spencer, but it's going to stay Rockford's ball, but I definitely thought that was tipped going out of bounds by Rockford.
Coach Wilde certainly agrees with you on this one. Yeah, I don't know if it was much of a dive from Blake Logsdon as much as he kind of tripped into the dive. It worked out for him.
Well, if that was the case, right place, right time, I mean, that was 2 points for sure. It was a good pass from Childers. the freshman. He's been playing well in this game, coming off the bench.
To Lacey, who's back on. Swanson. Bell was open on the backdoor cut. England instead, top of the key. Deemer from 3, knocked in. Again, he shoots about 53% from 3. It was only a matter of time. Jonah Loff trying to respond, cannot.
Deemer's not a guy that you want to get hot. He obviously shoots really well from beyond the arc. You can't get him wide open looks like that to get him in the rhythm of shooting the ball.
The entire starting lineup out of the game right now for the Red Devils, getting a break. We'll see what this bench unit has for the Red Devils. Nudie Lacey in the corner. Bell back to Lacey. Deemer down low with Swanson. Could not finish, rebounded by Loff.
Well, it looks like Eureka switched to a 2-3 zone defensively as opposed to the man. It's an interesting switch up. Let's see how it affects the gameplay of this Rockford offense.
It's Micah Brewer, a freshman out of Washington currently with the basketball. DeJesus. Not Loff, apologize, Brewer. Blake Logsdon trying to drive. Nice jump stop. DeJesus open from 3 once again, left short. Swanson trying to run it up the left side of the court. Deemer, and they're going to get a blocking foul there on Loff. I do think it's very entertaining to see guys after the whistle kind of chop it up. So Deemer's a little upset that he got slapped on the wrist, but at the same time, it's like, why are you still going to the basket then?
Right, I mean, it plays dead. I'm still not going to let you score even if the whistle blew.
It's mind games.
Right.
4-point lead for the Red Devils. Looking to get their second win on the season. Lacey, corner 3 up from him, too strong. Fought for Bell down low, kicks out. Deemer from 3, no. Jonah Loff with a nice rebound there.
Well, he mistimed his jump on the first attempt at a defensive rebound, but he got it on the second one. Fortunate that they weren't able to cash in on second chance.
That was something you highlighted on the pregame, was limiting Rockford's second chances. So far in this one, they've only had 4 points in terms of second chance. Not sure if it was a shot or a pass. Still with the Red Devils in the corner. Loff, a 3-point shooter himself. Up, and a couple bounces, no good. Red Devils limiting Rockford to just 3 rebounds on the offensive glass so far in this one, and a charge drawn by Dylan Logsdon. Something he's quite adept at.
Yeah, we see him do that quite often, actually, and doing a really good job staying in front of his man, playing defense with his feet and not his hands. They dropped the shoulder into him and drew the charge.
How many times over under do you think you've heard that in your life? Play defense with your feet, not your hands.
Thousands. Thousands of times.
Red Devils starters back onto the court with 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. Again, Chip Wilde sitting at 199 wins as Eureka's head coach. First couple tries have been unsuccessful. Off of Brown's hands is the verdict.
Well, this is one of the things that we were talking about. Eureka needs to do better at taking care of the ball. I'm not sure how many turnovers they have at the moment, but you can't give Rockford extra possessions and extra opportunities to score.
England trying to get by Johnson with James. Good crossover, trying to get to the basket. Scoop shot, no good. Fought for into the hands of Johnson. Out on the break, it's with Brown. Look to find Cody Bear. Brown would have been trapped in the corner if Deemer hadn't left. 13 on the shot clock with Ben Carter. Shooting from 3. A little too strong, rebounded by Lacey. England trying to go over Bear. Great defense being played. Ball loose. Lacey diving for it and did make contact with it. It is Eureka basketball.
Man, they are really going after Cody Bear. I think they're trying to get him into foul trouble and get him out of this game because he is such a key factor. Conference Player of the Year last year in the SLIAC. So he's obviously somebody that everybody's got circled when the rosters come out. There's a good pass from Bear.
A nice find from him. Persic needing to get a shot up and can't quite finish it. Man, Every time he shoots, he thinks it's going in. It's a good-looking shot. Deemer trying to drive and able to finish up off the glass. First points that we've seen in a couple minutes.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a dry spell for both offenses. Kind of starting to go cold after that hot stretch that we saw about midway through this first half.
Definitely looked like it was going to be a very high-scoring affair early on. Again, like you said, kind of cooled off a little bit. Cody Bear underneath. Nice footwork. Bucket is good. One of those that you could hear through the headphones.
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely hear that slap all the way up here. But like I said, Conference Player of the Year last year. He's a big factor. No wonder they're trying to get him into foul trouble and get him out of this game. I would be too.
Bear already with 10 points in this one, looking for number 11. So he tries to convert this three-point play. 6 rebounds for him as well. Again, he's a double-double machine. And after a one-game hiatus from it, it looks like he's very well equipped to do it, get back into that double-double column. So Larry back onto the court. He has 2 fouls, and you have to wonder if that's affected Rockford in any way. Anthony James down low with Deemer. Working on Bear. Fadeaway J, no. Rebounded by Bear's 7th. Johnson walking this one up the floor again, a junior transfer out of Sauk. Played hoops last season with Jonah Loth. We haven't seen a lot of minutes of those two together, but perhaps something we'll see later on in the season. Brown, nice crossover, firing. Rebounded by Carter. Carter with a strong move, can't finish.
You know, we talked about the offensive glass being a factor in this game, with Rockford being so good on the offensive boards, but right now we're actually beating Rockford on offensive rebounds, so good job by Eureka and really keeping them in check.
Carter from 3, still can't find it from out there. Bell gonna race this one back up. Getting harassed by Brown. Good body positioning. Anthony James to the basket, and bucket is good. Bear wanted an explanation and seemingly got it from the official on that. Well, likely that body contact.
Well, Anthony James, he's proven to be a tough player early on in this game. As we're nearing the end of this first half, he's put in very valuable minutes off the bench. Takes it strong to the basket every time, and you just feel like he's going to score every time he's going up.
That is foul number 2 on Cody Bear. James missing from the free throw line. Bear with his 8th rebound. 3-point lead for the Red Devils. Assuming both teams use the full shot clocks on these 2 possessions, Eureka will end up with the last shot. Johnson to Carter. Bit of an overload set. Carter to the basket. Bucket is good for the sophomore.
Well, he was somebody that we talked about pregame has made a big step, and from year 1 to year 2, and you're seeing it right there. Tough take to the basket, using that frame. He's a very big guy. He's got a big frame, big, strong guy. Good job fighting through the contact to finish at the bucket.
Hasn't knocked down one of his 3s yet. In fact, that was his first field goal that he's made today, but it's a positive sign to see him keep shooting. Because, you know, as a freshman, a lot of times if you start off a game 0 for 4 as a freshman, you don't want to shoot for the rest of the game sometimes. He'll get a break as well as Cody Bear.
Especially at the college level, you know, being new as a freshman, obviously you don't want your peers on your teammates to think that you're a ball hog or anything like that, so it can definitely rattle you.
It's Ray Banzamuna and Sam DeJesus back on. Nice pass from James Deemer underneath, and cannot convert that, but a foul called. See who they attribute it to. Looks like it goes on to Jesus. And it wouldn't be Eureka College basketball if it wasn't Pee Wee Brown getting chippy with somebody after a foul.
Yeah, a little extracurricular activity, but I mean, that's every game. Let them go at it.
Average Pee Wee Brown interaction, I think, after any sort of foul. The shot is missed on this one. Again, Eureka potentially, Levi, with a chance for 2 for 1.
Yeah, go down. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a quick bucket with 47 seconds You got plenty of time for a 2-for-1.
1 for 2 on that trip. Eureka's lead reduced to 5. Johnson. See if the Red Devils elect to do so. Screen from Banzamuna. Really started to see his minutes increase recently. He's hit some big-time shots, played good defense. To Brown. Banzamuna. Hand off, it's Johnson. 9 on the shot clock. Banzamuna once again. This time he'll drive completely wrapped up and grabbed. Still finishes through that.
What a tough finish. What a good shot from the mid-range turnaround. But Eureka content to not go for the 2-for-1 and just take it one possession at a time.
Deemer trying to bang down low with DeJesus. Nice find. Nice catch by James. And that'll do things here in the first half. 34-29, Red Devils leading. And Levi, Red Devils doing exactly what we needed them to stay in this game.
Yeah, like we talked about pregame was controlling the glass and not letting them dominate you on the glass, because that's what they do to a lot of teams. Controlling the ball, not turning it over. They're doing a good job of that, and they're playing pretty good defense throughout this first half.
Got a 5-point lead for the Red Devils. Anthony James on the other side, 12 points for him. Kevin Deemer, 10 points, 3 rebounds for the Regents. But the Red Devils, again, couldn't be doing this without Cody Bears, 11 points, 8 rebounds, followed by Pee Wee Brown with 7 points, as well as 2 rebounds and contributions from Noah Persich, Ben Carter, Jalen Johnson, Sam DeJesus, and Ray Banzamuna. It's a group effort so far out there.
Yeah, like we said, it's got to be a complete team effort. You got to have guys, not just 1 or 2 guys, doing the majority of the scoring. Got to have those guys, that third and that fourth scorer that gives you 8 to 10 points, maybe 12, to give you a really complete offense and complete scoring.
Well, that's all we have for you in the first half of coverage. But coming up after this, second half action of Eureka College basketball right here on ECTV.
We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is a It's a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Halftime at the Christine Bonatti Bullwinkle Arena. The Red Devils leading in their second home game of the season, 34-29 against the visiting Rockford Regents. I'm Spencer Davis, joined by Levi Taylor. Levi, that half went about as well as you could have hoped as a Red Devil fan.
Yeah, I was talking to you at halftime, and I actually said that Eureka's done a good job taking Rockford out of their game of shooting a lot of threes, going quick, creating turnovers. Eureka really has done a good job of taking care of the ball, controlling the glass, controlling the pace of this game.
Yeah, the Red Devils actually doing slightly better on the offensive glass than Rockford, and that was something we highlighted as one of Rockford's great strengths, is that ability to clean up the offensive glass and get those second chances. The Red Devils with 4 offensive rebounds compared to Rockford's 3. We'll see if that trend continues. As both teams sending out their starters. Anybody of notice or somebody that you want to keep an eye on in the second half, Levi?
Well, they were without Solari for the majority of the first half because he got in foul trouble. But he's a really scrappy player, and he had a good first few minutes of this game. It'll be interesting to see if he can stay out of foul trouble and contribute more to his team in the second half.
A welcome sign for Rockford fans. Micah Swanson, his first points of the night. One of those guys with a couple of fouls. So didn't get as many minutes as he probably would have liked. Good find underneath. Carter, tough take, could not finish at the rim. 2-on-2 break. Lacey all the way to the bucket and finishes.
Well, coming out hot for Rockford, getting in transition and scoring. Eureka's going to have to slow that down because they like to do that. And, you know, we just got done talking about Eureka taking care of the ball and making the most of their offensive possessions and not letting them get in transition. But here early in the second half, Rockford having their way.
A few dribble handoffs, and Brown did, in fact, step on that baseline. Thought he got away with it for a moment, but unfortunately the official does have eyes. 1 point lead for the Red Devils, 1 minute into the second half. Rockford looking for their third bucket of the half already. Solari back out, Deemer. Lacey down low with Swanson. Bell now from 3, knocked in. Rockford back in front.
Well, Eureka needs to get back to that high-intensity defense, that sticking with their man, and playing good defense like they were in the first half, because Rockford's starting to kind of get back into their game. Like we said, Eureka kind of took them out of it in the first half. Now Rockford kind of finding a groove here early in the second.
Eureka trailing by 2 as they take a timeout. And we will do the same thing. 30 seconds on the way on ECTV.
It affects all corners of the world for good. I mean, if you think about organizations that affect an entire world, it's a short list. Taking care of kids is a priority. Taking care of the families as whole.
Without donations, without people that care for St. Jude and for the kids at St. Jude, our match wouldn't be here.
You are making a difference, not just in a hospital, but in an entire world.
Out of the timeout, Red Devils looking to reclaim that first half spark that they had. Spencer Davis and Levi Taylor with you. It's 3 consecutive baskets, one being a three-pointer for Rockford. And on a 7-0 run, the first minute and a half.
Well, Spencer, while we're still close-ish to the first half, there's one stat that I forgot to mention. Points off of turnovers. That's something that Rockford usually dominates in. But tonight, they only had 2 points off of our turnovers. We have 9. So that's another category that Eureka did really well in the first half.
Sam DeJesus onto the court for Carter. Tough shot from Brown, spins home. Again, something that I've been able to see firsthand, the development of Pee Wee Brown. That's not a shot he was super comfortable taking as a freshman at Lincoln, and now with the Red Devils more than happy to put a shot up like that. Still inbounds, and Pee Wee Brown grabbing that one. Cody Bear trying to get by Lacey. Blocking foul, bucket is good.
Well, Bear using his size to his advantage once again, as we've already mentioned that we do have a size advantage in this game. Using that big 6'10" frame to finish high at the rim.
And it looked like Lacey was set on that, or very close to me. Do you think it's one of those instances where Bear was able to kind of adjust his flight to where he's colliding with more of the side of Lacey?
Yeah, definitely. He wasn't hitting him square on. It was more side hip-to-hip contact, if you will, as opposed to him just lowering his shoulder and laying the boom on.
Always fun, especially during football season, but probably wouldn't have been the wisest move with 2 fouls already. Noah Persich already providing more energy. That's what he did very well in the first few minutes of this game in particular. It's something he does very well altogether, though.
He's a very scrappy player, very, very sound defensively, a good defensive player. And like we said, he can get it done on the offensive side, too, with those mid-range jump shots. And he'll hit a couple threes for you, too.
Deemer forced to swing it back out to Swanson. Lacey, Deemer once again. 11 on the shot clock, trying to work on DeJesus. Blocked or fouled is the call. DeJesus is second on the night.
That one was close, Spencer. I couldn't really tell. I thought he got the ball, but again, we're looking at it from up here, and they've got a lot closer angle than we do.
Deemer now 2 for 3 from the free throw line in this one. Came into this one, I don't think he'd missed a free throw on the season, but it's usually one of those things that ends after a while. It's hard to end an entire season with 100% from the free throw line with multiple attempts. It's a 2-point lead for the Red Devils. DeJesus down to Bear. Almost jumped by Solari, but Cody Bear with the strong hands to finish.
Well, kind of a high-risk, high-reward pass from DeJesus there. Kind of scary. Could have been stolen, but thankfully it got through to Bear. And a wide-open layup after that.
And they've got Noah Persich in an attack dog type role. He's just chasing Jaden Bell all around this court. Persich tipping it away from Deemer, and he is just everywhere tonight on defense, like you said.
Yeah, another just scrappy-like play from Persich. And look at that, a mid-range jumper. I mean, everything that we highlighted about him, he just did in that stretch.
Yeah, if you want 30 seconds to show somebody what Noah Persich brings to your team, that is the 30 seconds you show him right there. The Red Devils looking to take another shot at Rockford, up 6. Brown, mid-range J. Yes!
Really good hard screen from Cody Bear. Good job not moving on it. It was hard contact. Sometimes when you see that, you can get moving and a foul gets called, but good job staying solid on that screen.
Nice ball movement underneath. Swanson finishing with the left.
A really good touch pass right there down low, leading his man to the bucket.
Again, Rockford came into this game averaging 23 assists per game. Not even close in that first half to that total, but it's definitely picking up in this second half.
Well, even if they weren't necessarily up to par in that category in the first half, they still have the ability to do it. And that doesn't mean that ability went away.
Solari slowing things down. Deemer looking to drive. Double team, nice scoop shot. Swanson could not bring it home. So with Brown, 1-on-2. More like a 1-on-1 when it's with Pee Wee Brown. Knocked out of his hands. It'll be Red Devil basketball underneath.
That was that was quite the call there, Spencer. That definitely went off of Pee Wee's knee, but I mean, we'll take the ball. Down there on the other end, though, with tried to slam it home off the rebound, trying to go for a highlight reel. I mean, I'd like to just see him tip that back in. If you can get that high, you might as well. So you got a higher percentage of making it.
Persich on the perimeter, giving Bell something to think about, a three-pointer up. Good positioning by Cody Bear, fought for. Deemer coming down with it. Solari, nice pass to Bell. Trying to drive on Persich, gets the bucket, can't finish. Cody Bear joining the double-double club. 6-point lead for the Red Devils, 5 minutes into the second half. Brown. And a foul called. We'll see if it goes on Demar, excuse me. And it appears that is the call. Maybe a little too much of a jersey grab underneath. Childers to come on.
Yeah, I don't really. It's tough. I didn't see a foul, but might have gotten bailed out with one right there. Could have been like in football with those slight holds on the receiver where they're just kind of grabbing their jersey down low. One of those type of instances, but it's hard to see from up here.
Carter back onto the floor for the Red Devils. It's James, and he is fouled by DeJesus. Maybe one of those instances where he also fouled. And yeah, that was in between him and Cody Bear, and nothing against Sam DeJesus, but you probably want that foul going on him and not Cody Bear.
Yeah. I mean, not throwing any shade at him, but that's Conference Player of the Year right there. We got to have him on the floor.
That will be DeJesus' third of the game. Bear with another rebound. Bear's probably got to be careful with that step through next time. It's one of those, if a guy's waiting for it and falls down a la Marcus Smart, likely your third foul of the game. So Brown getting a screen from DeJesus. Childers picking him up. Brown looking to post up, and a foul committed. Seems like there's been more fouls in this second half of action already than there were in the first.
Yeah, really. First half, I thought they called it pretty loose. There was a lot of contact on some plays that they didn't call. But here, they're starting to call everything. There's kind of a night and day difference between the first half and the second half when it comes to officiating.
There were 10 total fouls in that first half of action. We're at 5 between the two teams, 5 minutes in, so about double. Carter was left really short on that. I don't know if his elbow was struck or not. Ball's still loose. Nice hands from Pee Wee Brown. Carter trying to get away from Solari. Good transition defense by Solari to stop that. Carter, post touch, Bear, quick fire over Swanson, spins out. And that's a look Cody Bear likes to flash every once in a while. Sure, he can post up on you, but he's got a solid mid-range game, and you can't let your defender think that he's got you figured out. Elliott from 3. Long rebound ends up in the hands of James. Finds Elliott once again. Over to DeJesus, and a late call there. They'll attribute that to Sam DeJesus.
Well, 2 quick fouls on DeJesus right there. Might see him go to the bench here pretty soon with him being in foul trouble now. But he's really supplied some good minutes off the bench so far in this season. He's a guy that's, he's not going to put up, crazy numbers, but he is one of those guys that is not going to hurt you. He plays hard defense. He's smart with the ball. Just a good guy to have off the bench.
It'll be Ray Banzamuna checking in for him. Solari to the bench for Rockford. Matthew Elliott at the free throw line. A 3-point lead for the Red Devils. Again, it's been a tightly contested game so far. I'm not sure either team's had a double-digit lead in this one yet. Brown back out, Carter. Johnson. "9 seconds on the shot clock," which is Pee Wee Brown. Trying to post up James, trying to get by him, out of his hands, into the hands of England. 4-on-3 break. England doing it himself with the left hand.
Well, Rockford really starting to play some solid defense on that possession specifically. Just really stout, really solid, not letting anything through in penetration through the lanes or any cutters. Forcing Pee Wee Brown to kind of try to do it all himself.
I'm not sure what the stoppage was, but
there was an injured player, Spencer.
Gotcha. It certainly looked like Eureka was about to go out on the break on that. But like you said, if there's an injury, then yes, that would be the reason. Did not notice that. 1-point lead for the Red Devils, 45-44. Not a great pass in there. Brown doing a lot of posting up in this game.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, for being a guard, he is good at it, but it's not something that you see him do, every time down the floor. Seen a lot more of it in this game than we have in the past.
Carter to inbound for the Red Devils. 19 seconds on the shot clock with Johnson. 3 points from him so far. Back to Brown. Brown firing from 3. Knocked in over Bell. We talked about his post-up game, and then he flashed his perimeter shooting. Swanson trying to back down Banzamuna, and they'll get him on a little bit of a shoulder check underneath.
Yeah, Spencer, that was a high arcing shot from Pee Wee Brown. Had to get it over his defender. Just silky smooth form, nice release. Able to knock that one down.
Rockford struggling to find anybody, able to find Bell eventually. Elliott gets Bear in the air. And a foul by Carter. So Elliott will head back to the free throw line. The game has really slowed down since that first half in terms of a lot more fouls. Seems like some more turnovers on both teams as well. 9-9 turnover-wise.
Well, right there on that drive, you saw Elliott got past his man. Carter had to try to slide in and play and help defense, and unfortunately wasn't able to beat his man to the spot. You hear coaches talk about that all the time, is beating your man to the spot and getting in position to play defense. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to get there in time and committed a foul.
2 for 2 on that trip. Rockford's back within 2. Clock has not resumed moving. 12:28. The officials caught that as well. Certainly one of those things you need to make sure is working.
Yeah, it's kind of an important part of the game,
As somebody who just watched Lions Bears over the weekend, the clock was not showing up with about 2 minutes left in the second half and the fourth quarter. It was very, very scary because you just didn't know how much time was left. I know that there were some people on the Bird app that were not very happy about it either. 2-point lead for the Red Devils. Clock is restarted and operating correctly. Carter trying to get to the basket. Strong take from Ben Carter.
Well, another strong take from Carter right there. We talked about that a couple times in this game, just using that big frame, that strong frame, and finishing strong at the basket.
Tyrese England with the turnover on that. Definitely one of those, he tried to get the points back a little too quick, I think. Went coast to coast, lost it. Persic to Banzamuna. So Pee Wee Brown guarded by Bell. Carter once again, 13 on the shot clock. Brown trying another 3, and he does knock that one home as well. Another thing that Pee Wee Brown's really added to his game is a 3-point shot. He started the season slow with it, but you'd certainly tell he's worked on it. Bear with another rebound.
Yeah, he's starting to definitely get into a rhythm here in this second half. He's hit 2 in a row now.
Childer's able to steal and save that. 3 on 3.
With a player like Pee Wee Brown, as good as he is already with taking the ball to the basket and posting up down low, with him adding a 3-point shot to his game, that is scary for defenses.
Nice footwork there from Carter. Harassed by Bell, lobs up. Bear tried to tip it up. And off of the hands of Carter.
Well, Carter had the right idea on the lob right there, just a little too strong off the glass. Kind of made it an awkward catch for Bear.
It looked like Bear was caught in between tipping it and jamming it. Unfortunately worked out in the worst way possible for the Red Devils. Childers in the pick and roll, lost it behind his back. England thought about a three, kicks back out. Childers will fire and knock that one in. Well, James Harden with the lefty stroke.
Yeah, as a freshman, he's played really well in this one so far, providing valuable minutes off the bench. That was a clean step-back move right there to knock down that three.
You know coaches love to see it when their guards get those big men switched out on them on the perimeter. And vice versa when your big man's down low. Carter threw some contact and he's fouled on that take. He's finally rewarded with a call. I think he'd been asking for one for a while.
Now, we talked about Pee Wee being the most fouled player that doesn't get calls. Well, Ben Carter's having something to say about that in this game. He's had several strong takes to the basket and hasn't really gotten that many calls. Glad to see him get one there.
Carter with 5 points, 4 rebounds tonight. Second trip to the free throw line. Be our first look at Dylan Logsdon in the second half. Nudie Lacey back on. We've seen a good blend of experience and youth out there today. Saying youth in a college game is kind of funny, but in terms of college experience, at least, 1 for 2 on that trip from Carter. We've seen a decent amount of freshmen out there between the two teams. Childers contributing a lot as a freshman. We've seen Micah Brewer out there for the Red Devils. But again, these senior leaders certainly making a lot of impacts out there.
Yeah, 2 seniors, I mean, that we highlighted for Rockford, Jaden Bell and Kevin Deemer. Really, the 2 best players statistically throughout this season, and that sets the tone for the younger guys in a program when your seniors are taking the lead.
Carter down low to Bear, knocked out of his hands, punched up in the air. A 5-on-3 break. Deemer kick to the corner, swung. Bell 3 up, knocked in. Tie game at 54.
A really good ball movement by Rockford right there on that break. Getting into the corner, get the defense out of position, and just swing it one more for a wide open 3. Rockford really starting to get into a groove and starting to get back to what they're used to doing and how they play.
Tied up at 54, under 10 minutes to go. Timeout on the floor, and we will take one as well. Eureka College basketball on ECTV.
What would you give for a child you loved to make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine.
54-54 in Eureka. The Red Devils looking for their second win of the year. Rockford looking for their 5th to start the season. Spencer Davis, Levi Taylor with you on this fine Tuesday evening. I don't know what to call 6 o'clock. It's kind of weird, especially when it's dark at 4:30 these days.
Yeah, not really a fan of the weather this time of year, especially getting dark so early. It makes it feel like it is much later than it is.
13 points apiece from Anthony James and Kevin Deemer. For Rockford, it's been a relatively quiet game from Jaden Bell. He's had a couple of threes. He's at 8 points, though. And as a guy that averages 17 and a half, Regent fans want a little bit more out of him. Brown, tough shot, double clutch, up and in. Pee Wee Brown.
He is really starting to get hot. Hit a couple threes, and that mid-range jumper was just unbelievable. That's a tough shot to take.
And a rebound for Brown as well. Childers probably don't want to leave him that open again. He was 2 for 2 from his three-point attempts. Three-pointer up from Banzamunen, left little too short. He's a guy that's out there to shoot. Just probably not what he wanted from the three-point line in his first attempt of the game.
Well, I mean, you got to get those out. It doesn't mean you need to stop shooting.
I did. When I would do that, I would stop. That's why I'm up here.
You got to get those out every once in a while.
2-point lead for the Red Devils. England trying to work on Logsdon. One-on-one, quite literally, and England getting the better of them on that one.
It was solid defense from Logsdon, just a better move by England.
8:17 left. Brown guarded by Lacey. It's Bear in the pick and roll. Dodges the defender and puts it in. Cody Bear, I don't think gets enough credit for his ability to kind of readjust midair. He's a taller guy, but he certainly does a very good job of, switching hands midair or changing his course of action. Deemer from 3. Yes! Rockford back in front.
Well, a back and forth game here. Offense is starting to kind of exchange blows here. Could become a scoring fest here pretty soon. We saw this in the first half as well.
Persich gets the mid-range. Logsdon there to put it in.
Well, Logsdon is a sneaky player sometimes. Defensively, he is a lot trying to go for picking your pocket steals. Big swat right there from Logsdon. That wasn't nothing sneaky about that, but a sneaky offensive rebound down here on the offensive side of the floor to get the putback and put Eureka back in front.
DeJesus onto the floor for Bear. Likely the last time Cody Bear will be able to rest in this one. Childers to inbound, cross court. Bell thought about a 3, gets Logsdon in the air. Deemer run off the line. Lacey over to Jesus, good take, tipped up and in. 7:05 left in the second half. Logsdon. Benzamuna pass was almost taken away by Bell. Brown gets Lacey jumping. Fakes pass, puts it up. Basket is good. Pee Wee Brown, an absolute menace out there today.
Yeah, I mean, he's really starting to take over this game for Eureka on the offensive side of the ball. Just kind of doing it himself. But really starting to come alive here in the second half. I mean, he had a good first half too, but man, he is just playing unbelievable basketball here.
22 points for Pee Wee Brown in this one. Go along with 5 rebounds. Childers. Red Devils back in front for the time being. Deemer able to get baseline. Up and under is good. (63-63). Brown to Benzamuna. Logsdon working on England. DeJesus now down low. Benzamuna trying to drive on Bell. Somehow sneaks that pass through. Logsdon from 3, no.
Boy, that shot looked good, Spencer. I thought it was going down.
Nice move from England, knocked out of his hands and a foul. We're going to say it wasn't the act of shooting, and it's given to Noah Persich. It'll be his first foul of the game. Tyrese England, his first trip to the free throw line today. 4 points, 3 assists. Transfer from Wisconsin Lutheran. And Cody Bear checking back into this one for Ray Benzamuna.
Just a short rest for Bear, get him geared up for the last 6 minutes of this game. We're going to need him down this stretch, especially on the glass.
Bear with 12 rebounds in this one. Timeout by Rockford, 65-63 after the 2 free throws. And as the teams take a break, we will do the same. Again, Rockford leading by 2, 6:03 left in Eureka.
When people ask us who we are, we tell them we're problem solvers, opportunity creators, community builders, and change makers. We are Rotary. Around the world, Our network of 1.4 million neighbors, friends, and leaders volunteer their skills, expertise, and resources to solve issues and address community needs. We are people of action. Join us, and together, we can make an even greater impact. Find out how you can get involved at rotary.org/action.
Two-point lead for the visiting Rockford Regents as both teams exit their respective benches. It's been a fun game so far, back and forth recently in the last couple of minutes. Pee Wee Brown leading the way for the Red Devils, 22 points for him. Kevin Deemer, 18 points on the other side. It's with Brown. Getting a screen from Bear. Brown all the way to the basket, up through contact. Cody Bear there and tipped. And he is fouled. So looking to join Brown in the 20-point mark, perhaps. That'll be his 13th rebound of the game.
Yeah, I mean, just a monster on the glass in this game. Not just this game, but almost every game he plays in. Really getting it done on the glass today. And we're going to need that down the stretch if we're going to win this one.
Again, Rockford coming into this one 4-0 on the season. Wins against Judson, Oak Hills Christian College, Beloit College, and Martin Luther. But this is their first trip on the road of the season, and perhaps without that home cooking, perhaps shooting's not as easy. England all the way to the basket through contact, fouled. You could see pretty much from when he caught that, his intent was to get to the basket. Logsdon with a good challenge, though.
Well, he did a good job of it. I mean, got past Logsdon, got him on his hip, got him on his backside a little bit, and that's what you want to do when you go into the basket. Get your defender on your backside. Makes it easier to finish at the rim.
Both teams in the bonus. 5:41 left in the second half. England 4 for 4 from the free throw line after those two specifically. 8 points for them tonight. Pass goes cross court, and Lacey fouled Brown, so 1-and-1 free throws for Pee Wee Brown.
It's not necessarily the guy that you want to send to the line.
Night that he's having shooting, absolutely not. If you're Rockford, at least, I love seeing Pee Wee Brown at the free throw line. Jalen Johnson onto the court for Sam DeJesus.
I believe Pee Wee's shooting coming into this game 80% from the line. And of course I jinx him.
Happens to the best of us. Childers all the way to the basket, puts up with the left, can't finish. Bear with the rebound. What do you think of that box out by Pee Wee Brown?
That was fantastic. Just pin him against the wall and don't let him move. That is one way to play basketball, I guess.
To the corner, Johnson, guarded by Bell. Bear looking to set a screen for him. Johnson to Persich, Brown. 8 on the shot clock, Childers guarding him. Brown a little rocker step, Logsdon firing from 3. Too long, rebounded by Deemer.
Man, his shots look good every time they go up. They're just not falling tonight, unfortunately. He's got a really nice form, really nice release.
Childers run off the three-point line to the corner. Nice hands by Logsdon. Red Devils on the break. 2-on-2. Logsdon, nice Euro step all the way, can't finish. And like you said, it's just nothing can go through the hoop for Dylan Logsdon. Bounce pass, Deemer traveled. That extra gather step gets you sometimes. Childers certainly a little disappointed to come out of this one. He's played some fantastic minutes. So Larry comes back on.
We talked about him a couple times as a freshman coming off the bench. Put up very valuable minutes for his team tonight. And we might see him again down the stretch of this game. He's been playing well. But yeah, I mean, that was definitely a travel. He took 1 or 2 gather steps, Spencer. Flew the whole way through the lane without dribbling. It's usually a telltale sign of a travel.
Certainly an undersung or underappreciated skill of catching the ball on a cut, moving away from the basket, and trying to get a shot up quickly. Rockford fans wanted to travel. We're not obliged. Johnson trying to drive, contact, scoop shot. He'll head to the free throw line. Love seeing the aggressive play of Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, it's good to see him being aggressive and trying to score. He has the ability to. Just haven't really. Looks like he might be a little bit uncomfortable with shooting the ball. Need him to get into a rhythm because he has the ability to do it. And I'll jinx him once again. I'm just going to start being quiet during free throws, I think, Spencer.
4:01 left in the second half. 67-65, Rockford up. Pee Wee Brown, 22 points. Cody Bear, 20 points. Kevin Deemer, 18 points. Anthony James, 13. The leading scorers for Rockford and Eureka. Eureka back within one. Under 4 minutes to go. Solari cross court, England trying to drive on Carter, and they'll get a arm bar on Carter. And England's quick off the dribble. We saw him blow by Dylan Logsdon earlier, and he did the same thing to Carter right there, and he gets rewarded with 1-on-1 free throws.
Well, England and James, two guys that come off the bench for this Rockford team, and just I've been very impressed with the way that they've been playing tonight. Put in some very valuable minutes, and just they both are just tough slashers going in the lane and scoring.
England 5 for 5 from the free throw line tonight. Banzamuna off for Brown. Nobody in significant foul trouble. Lacey Nudie, I will say, with 4. That one will spin home. Down 3, the Red Devils. Looking to get a bucket back. Almost knocked out of the hands of Johnson with Carter. Rockford's defensive intensity has certainly picked up. Carter to Brown. Nice backdoor cut through contact. And Brown a little Charlie horse perhaps on his way to the basket.
Yeah, it looks like it was exactly that. Holding that hip like he probably took a knee or something there. Those do not feel good at all, Spencer.
Pee Wee Brown really has not been able to catch a break in terms of injuries this year. He's played through all of them. Saw injured back in the first game here. Injured hamstring on the road on Saturday, and now with some sort of leg injury now. It's the best way to get rid of a Charlie horse. Just keep running on it?
You just kind of got to keep going and tough it out. There's really no way to get rid of it. You got to kind of ride the pain for a little bit.
Banzamuna back on for Carter after the 2 free throws for Brown.
But once you get moving around and that adrenaline gets pumping again, kind of forget about it.
Hopefully that is the case. James held on to that to the last second. England to the corner. Deemer swung around to the perimeter. James. Bell thought about a 3. England all the way back around and just travel call, and that is a backbreaker on that. You can see Kevin Deemer motioning shoot to somebody. He just...
Yeah, it was really good ball movement on the perimeter. They were swinging it around, getting the defense to move around, and that's kind of a waste of an offensive possession. That was a good one for Rockford with a travel.
Johnson will get a timeout. 69-68, Rockford up. We're going to stay here for this one. And Levi, with 3:12 left in a 1-point game, this is certainly one of the better case scenarios that we were hoping to see in this game.
Yeah, Eureka's done a great job playing against Rockford in this game. Rockford was a team that was coming into this game hot, obviously 4-0, shoots the ball well, plays really good defense, rebounds the ball well, and Eureka has stayed, step for step with them all along the way.
Turnovers sitting about the same. Red Devils with 1 less. They've actually forced 3 Rockford turnovers and have not conceded one since the last time I've checked, at least. But the rebounding battle starting to swing in favor of Rockford. 33 total to Eureka's 32, and the 3-point shooting of Eureka's really started to cool off, sitting at about 28%.
What were they sitting at the beginning of that first half? Something like 60%?
Well, they were at 100%.
That's right.
2
Yeah,
for 2.
Yep. They were at 100%, and like I said, that's not really sustainable. It's not. You're not going to have that. If you did, then you're just an incredible basketball team.
Stat to keep in mind, though, bench points. Rockford has 33 off of their bench. Eureka with 7. It's guys like Anthony James and Tyrese England that have really provided those sparks off of the bench for them. Not a whole lot of Micah Swanson today. Then a mix of foul trouble, and maybe they just didn't like his matchups and who he was guarding. The next man up mentality for the Regents. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Pee Wee Brown, guarded by James. Nice move from Brown to get some separation. Long shot, England rebounds. Just gliding past everybody, James with it. That was a huge offensive possession for Eureka. Had the potential to take the lead. Now trying to make sure this stays a 1 possession or a 1 point game. Deemer from 3. And put back in by Solari.
Well, as we mentioned earlier in this game a couple times, kind of had a quiet game, but Solari, a scrappy player. And another one of those sneaky offensive rebounds, very similar to the one Dylan Loxton had earlier in this game.
Ben Carter gets his guys back within 1. Right where you want to see all this action taking place on ECTV. England goes down, and he stepped out of bounds. Red Devils getting the ball back. Micah Swanson back onto the court. 2:03 left in the second half. 5 players in double digits for scoring tonight. 3 on the side of Rockford, 2 for the Red Devils. Another costly turnover there for Tyrese England, though, and he's out of the game now. Johnson. Carter. Brown guarded by James. Unable to shake him. 7 on the shot clock. Carter guarded by Swanson. Carter trying to get away. Able to find Brown at the top of the key from 3! 2-point lead for the Red Devils after the Pee Wee Brown 3.
Well, as we mentioned, he has really taken over in this second half for Eureka. Not only offensively, but defensively, creating a lot of havoc and hitting a big shot there when it mattered at the end of the shot clock.
2-point lead for the Red Devils, and that's a light foul to be calling with 1:11 left. Be it 1-and-1 free throw opportunity for Kevin Deemer. 18 points from him tonight, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He's split at the free throw line so far, 2 for 4. DeJesus on for Carter. Carter with a nice stat line so far tonight. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. (73-71). Deemer left it short. That's Cody Bear's 15th rebound. Huge opportunity for the Eureka offense. Coach Chip gonna let him play it out. Johnson draws a foul. That goes on Solari.
Boy, they're really calling some tight fouls here down the stretch. I mean,
at least it's 1 for 1, I'll say that. It's been 2 light fouls back to back, each on one team, one on each team. So at least it's, then you can see Solari's, talking to the official about it and trying to get an understanding. The officials today, I can't say enough about. They've done a good job of communicating with the players so far. And I know as somebody that would pick up a lot of fouls at times, it was nice to hear an explanation for why you were getting them, even if you don't agree in the moment.
Yeah, they've done a good job this game. They've called it pretty even throughout the game. But I mean, when you're getting down to a minute to go and you're calling cheap fouls like that, that can get aggravating. It can get scary because we don't know if they're going to call one in crunch time, in the last seconds.
55 seconds left. Red Devils holding on to a 4-point lead. It's with Seth Childers. James. Deemer down low. Swanson able to bring it in, and Brown a little too strong over the top. Both the official and Brown just kind of nodding at each other like, yeah, that's got to be one. Brown timed it well, just unfortunately Swanson doing a good job of adjusting where that ball was at. Not as predictable. Clock stopped at 42.7 seconds left.
You know, probably one of those situations where Brown was thinking, I'm not going to give him this free layup.
A worthwhile investment.
Yeah, going to make him earn it at the line. It's showing to be a good decision from Brown.
Micah Swanson, 4.6 rebounds tonight. This is his first trip to the free throw line. A couple of clangers. Noah Persich with the rebound. They're going to get a foul call on James. Rockford bench thought it was out of bounds for a brief second.
Well, it's kind of a little bit of a late whistle. I thought that they were going to call it out of bounds as well, because they didn't blow the whistle when the foul occurred. They blew the whistle when the ball went out of bounds. So a little confusing there, but nevertheless, Persich will be at the free throw line.
That one splashed home. Again, another one of those guys that you certainly don't mind seeing at the free throw line for the Red Devils. Noah Persich is one of the best guys you can have there. Six-point lead for the Red Devils, 38 seconds left. So Lacey trying to get all the way to the basket. Eureka's going to concede a layup, and they knock it out of bounds off of each other. And that is a missed opportunity. They got the stop, or rather just Lacey missed the layup. Officials are conferring to decide if whether or not the ball touched the rim, which I don't think it did. But I think the shot clock would have been about the same anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it touched the rim either, but I think in that instance, Lacey was expecting some kind of contest or some kind of contact and was kind of surprised when he got in the air and didn't feel anything.
It's a smart play the way that, the last couple of minutes have been called. You can't be risking the potential three-point play. Lacey over Bear. Ball gets tipped around into the hands of Johnson. The Red Devils can just try to dribble this out, and that is exactly what Johnson will do. And he is fouled by England. With a 6-point lead and under 20 seconds to go, there's some massive free throws for Jalen Johnson. How about him splitting that trap there?
Yeah, fantastic ball handling right there. Especially coming down in the stretch in this game. Having a guy that can handle the ball and isn't going to turn it over when he gets pressured is huge to have, especially at the college level.
Eureka blessed with a couple of guys like that. I'd say Noah Persich and Jalen Johnson both do that role very well. Hang on to the ball and usually knock down their free throws. Split trip there, 7-point lead. Again, 3-possession game. Childers trying to go to work on Brown. Picks up his dribble. Might have gotten away with a little bit of a step there, and that ball still in play. England, top of the key, Childers. Double clutch and is fouled on his way. 3 seconds left, barring a miracle. The Red Devils adding a 1 to a column that Rockford did not want to be added to.
Well, I can't say enough about how Eureka performed in this game. I mean, everything that we talked about that they needed to do in order to win this one, they did. They played a good, clean basketball game. One of the things that you talked about was having a complete half. And, they did that in both halves. They had a really good first half to start the game, and that set the tone for the second half. And that's a good, complete win for Eureka and something that they can build on going further into this season.
78-73, the final score. The Red Devils getting their second win, and more importantly, and we'd like to extend a heartfelt congratulations, 200 wins for Coach Chip Wilde with that one. It's certainly a pretty crowning achievement. Winning 200 games at the same program is again, quite an achievement. His 17th season, really proud of him in this group specifically. Pee Wee Brown poured in 27 points, 5 rebounds. Cody Bear, 20 points, 15 rebounds. And on the other side, Kevin Deemer, 18 points with 6 rebounds. Anthony James with 13. But, Levi, I think the storyline, Jaden Bell held in single digits tonight.
Yeah, it's somebody that we highlighted pregame. 17 points per game. Holding him in single digits is huge. Eureka played really well defensively. That was something that we talked about throughout the first and second half, is that they needed to keep up the intensity defensively.
Again, congratulations to Coach Wilde. 200 wins here at Eureka College. As Eureka gets a couple of days off before their next game, when they travel to Charleston, Illinois to take on EIU in an exhibition game. That game set to tip off at 2 o'clock p.m. on Saturday. We'll be excited to bring that one to you on WEUR. But for the time being, that's all we have for you from Eureka. On behalf of our entire staff, my broadcast partner, Levi Taylor, this is Spencer Davis. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.